Hi, my name is Robin, and I'm making a video because I wanted to update my YouTube channel after hearing all the wonderful news about all the millions and millions of views that certain artists are receiving. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience here in the past year or so in New York. I've experienced a lot, and what I've been through is something I've never imagined that I would see myself going through. There are a lot of things that cause a person to suffer from an inability, not having the ability to work, not having the ability to pay rent, not having the ability to eat. There are mechanisms in place that cause a person to be beneath the system, that cause a person to not be able to function within a society. And so it's been, I wouldn't say it's an experiment because I am the person that's being experimented on and used. Most definitely. Today I was going over my Facebook likes, and I was over a span of a year or so, amazed to see that amazed to see the what's come from it, and what was my mental process when I was seeing these photos and liking the images and etc. But like I said, I've been here for a little more than a year after I was in Los Angeles and I made the flight, I call it the flight from Los Angeles to here. And I think that I've been studying extensively German, and I've been putting a lot of effort into that language, and a lot of meticulous work, a lot of hours, a lot of commitment, a lot of dedication, and taking a very slow amount of time. I'm doing the work, and so when I'm involved in that, when I'm doing the German studies, it really takes me to another level of mental cognition and cognition period, because I'm using a side of my brain that I've not used before. It's the stronger side of my brain, so I'm literally developing the language better than I'm developing the language that I do speak normally, or the language I do know very well, English. And so spending a lot of hours and time and days learning the language, and then having that thrown at me in a society that doesn't speak, or a city that doesn't speak German, a city that speaks predominantly English, and then to have those the images that have been created in my mind from studying the language, having that used against me, it's very atrocious. I guess I should try to explain this. When one learns a language, it's associated with the various things that we see with our eyes, and we connect those things. Like, say, this computer, for example. The word computer is a word that represents the thing that I'm using to communicate with various people that are watching or will be watching this video. And so with German, the hours that I was spending learning this language, or trying to learn this language, I wasn't developing the images that go along with these words, which is not not important. It's not important because I'm doing the language, I'm writing the language for the very first time. I've never done it before. It's something I've never experienced, and so it doesn't really matter that I'm connecting images or not. The thing is getting it in my mind within the framework of what it is that I'm learning. I have to block out these obnoxious people that are in my frame. It's so ridiculous. Again, it's like I can't seem to get away from these people. They're just everywhere. Anyway, so when you're learning a language, you're communicating with your mind things that have been written down with your hand. And it's been one of those really amazing experiences learning a language. I remember spending some time with a poem, and the effect that it had on my mind mentally, the things that I was thinking when I was studying the poetry, and how my mind was causing me to cry. I was emotionally attached to this poem, even though I didn't have the translation of my mind. I didn't have images that were connected to the words that I was learning, but I still was having a profound effect on the things that I was writing. So I was connecting to this author, connecting to his words, connecting to the way that he thinks, and the way that he writes in a very magnificent way. So it was really incredible. I switched from the poetry to one of his screenplays, and it had a different effect from his poetry. The screenplay was very structured, and so my mind became very structured, and I became very focused. And so, spending hours and hours and months on the German language and not associating images with it caused me to have like this blank slate, or this kind of like blur. I was kind of like in a blur because I didn't know. My mind was adjusting to this new language. And so I am in New York City. I am in New York. I am in Manhattan, and I don't have anything. I don't have much. I'm very, very fortunate that I'm even here. And so my form of transportation in the city is mostly walking. So I spend a lot of time walking. I don't really do transportation. I try not to do transportation because it's really expensive. But I walk around a lot. And so what has happened, there have been people that have been placed in certain areas in the city that are literally following me and walking and watching, following me and literally following me and stalking me around. And they're using images subliminal messages that have been used to attack me, that I've posted on my social media pages. So there are so many examples that I could go into. And so I was having a very difficult time dealing with this. I was paying attention to so many images that I was seeing on the streets of New York, seeing these people that are wearing these colors, that are wearing these badges, that are wearing these things that are symbolizing things that I'm posting on my social media page. And so I was like, how am I going to deal with this? It's very agitating, very annoying. I would go to Whole Foods, I would eat, and I'd have people sitting in front of me, women primarily, and it would be women that would be mocking me, would be mocking the things that I've done, things that I've posted. And so another thing that I've been working on very immensely is my chemistry, my body chemistry, my chemical industry, what I put off, and my sexuality, and how I deal with that. And so I've been attacked on that very level as well. So here I am, a person with not very much means of taking care of myself, but I'm attacked by people that have all the means of whatever they need to take care of themselves, that are attacking me. And so I was trying best how to figure out how to deal with this. It's like, I'm this person that has nothing, and I'm being attacked by these people that have everything. Why is that in the first place? Anyway, I started reading English. I stopped with the German. I stopped writing German. I stopped studying German, and I started reading English. And I started reading Washington Irving, History of New York. And then I started reading Edith Wharton, An Age of Innocence. And I was slowly, the cognition was slowly coming back, and getting comfortable with my language, and my thought was getting better. So I was very, very thankful for that. But I was still having a problem of being agitated and being really, really angry. And I realized that I didn't have a cell phone. I don't have a cell phone. So people walk around with their cell phones, and they're able to communicate the things that they want to do on their cell phones. People are very adverse and very, very, very much involved in their cell phones. But I don't have a smartphone, so I don't have the way of looking at myself or seeing what I've posted. So I spend a lot of hours at a computer, at the Apple Store, at the public library here, staring at myself, staring at images, staring at celebrities, images that they post. And so that communication's been going on for years and months. And it's like, why is this happening? Why is this going on? Why am I so concerned about these people that I literally should not have any concern about? And it's because of the loneliness factor, but it's also because of the basic necessities that I'm not getting, that I'm not receiving. And so, but I've been coming to terms with that and learning about what I've been going through. It's just immensely a tragic phenomenon. So, when it comes to the cell phone, when it comes to the smartphone, I'm walking around the city trying to find a destination that I would like to go to, and I'm running into people that have their smartphones, they're pulling their smartphones out, that are taking images of buildings, etc., etc. All normal things that tourists do. So how do you prove, or how do you make it known that these people are actually following me around and actually doing this to try to agitate me, to cause some kind of harm to myself? You can't really. I can't really. So what I've been trying to do is just fix my situation, fix the way that I see things, and the way that things are presented to me. And so that's what I've been working on. And it's been very, very rough and very, very difficult. But I'm glad that I'm able to speak about this a little bit. Like I said, I have no one representing me. I represent myself. And that's how I actually would prefer it. But I think it's a very difficult city. A very, very difficult city with very difficult people with many interests. And so I'm very glad that I'm getting getting my fucking shit together and getting over these people. I think I've always been a person that's interested in learning, in learning about so many things. And it's a tragedy that I haven't been able to do that. Or the things that I have learned have been used against me. The tragic thing is the German language, working on the Faust, and, the Goethe, and the various poetry, the poems, and the things that he's written, and studying that, and writing intricately, and spending so much time on that. It's so tragic having that used against me. That's really, really sad. But anyway, I'm making this YouTube video also because I'm like, I don't really understand these people viewing these videos, like, and he's getting all these like millions and millions of views. I don't really even understand it. I don't. I guess I just find it really amusing, to be completely honest. But I also find it to be a complete joke. Let's see. So, yeah, I'm at that point where I'm just like, really. And so, it was an experiment of mine to come back to the city with nothing. And I was like, what would I do going back to a city with nothing? How would I cope? How would I be? Who would help me? And it's been a really extremely difficult situation. I've never ever imagined this for myself. I never imagined to be in this position. So I'm very good with images, and I remember things very well, and I think it's better with my studying. And so I'm trying to control the images that are being thrown in my face under constant pressure. And reading is very difficult. Focusing is very difficult. Even controlling my sexual urges is very, very difficult. But it's been a process for 4 years dealing with that, and I'm proud of myself that I'm getting better at it. And I think that I want to continue to keep developing and getting better at it. And, yeah, I'm really, displeased and just not interested in this society or these people. It's just really horrible. Extremely horrible people. But, people can't help who they are. But anyway, I call it the attack of the images. And so I've been trying to figure out best how to deal with this. And I'm really sure it's going to be a work in progress. But I think I want to do this more and share what I'm going through and share the constant struggle that I'm dealing with. I'm not really interested in screaming and yelling and letting it all out or being angry. I'm not really interested. I'm actually very tired. I'm not interested in politics. I'm not interested in being anyone's political guinea pig. I'm not interested in saying cut my check. That's what I'm interested in. But even that is worthless, Like, I came to New York City to be an artist, to be a performing artist. That's why I came here, and it ended up being something totally different. And actually, everything I've created it's everything that you see on the screen is literally my work. So it's like everything I've done has been stolen. But it's like, I don't even care, because it's like not me doing it. So it's like, it's subpar any fucking way. But anyway, I just want to say, like, I'm Robin, my name is Robin. And I'm so tired. And just working on developing myself and controlling these images that are being thrown at me. Keep me in your thoughts.